I could easily devote every episode to covering charter schools. A simple search would turn up half a dozen scandals any given week, like the story this week out of Arizona, where the multimillionaire CEO of an online charter school gave himself a $1.3 million raise while giving teachers 1%. Keep in mind, online charter schools have very little overhead. Thrive charter schools in San Diego are outperformed by every other school in the district. So bad, in fact, the school board wants to close them down. But the founders gave themselves another huge bonus this year. A charter school operator in Pensacola, Florida was sentenced to 20 years in prison for fraud. A Dorchester, Massachusetts charter executive is under investigation for questionable spending, all this week alone. But the story that caught my eye, the Miami New Times is reporting that a teacher at Matter Academy in Hialeah Gardens hung a Confederate flag in his classroom with the motto, "Keep it flying." The same teacher had previously told students that the South was fighting for states' rights. The Union should have lost, and has called students snowflakes for expressing their political opinions. A teacher at any public school would have been disciplined by now, but Matter Academy principal Jose Nunez says it was all just part of a history lesson. A school with 98% minority enrollment, according to US News, allowed a conservative history teacher to hang this up, despite the fact that the Confederacy was the enemy of the US. It's yet another example of Matter Academy promoting the right-wing political ideology. Matter is part of Academica, the largest charter school operator in Florida. For over a decade, they've written big paychecks to some of the most powerful politicians in Florida, including the CEO's brother-in-law, Eric Fresen, who was convicted of tax evasion after chairing the Florida House subcommittee that oversees education spending. Because that's the kind of people that run charter schools. Wingnuts, con artists, and crooked politicians. They line their own pockets with money and resources that belong to the most struggling schools, and then say those schools are failing. They skim the highest performing students off the top, send the ones that don't work back to their home schools, and still can't outperform traditional public schools. They claim per pupil allocation belongs to the students and should follow them around like a backpack full of cash. But schools don't belong to students or their parents. They belong to the community that funds them. Everybody else is just passing through. If you found this information helpful, share it with a friend, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button.